Never enter a situation where something is getting done or you're about to do something or someone's about to help you do something and say, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if it's going to work out. No matter how challenging or complex or dire of a situation it is, just don't let those words come out of your mouth, especially when other people are in the area. There's so many reasons for this, but the first is you're just killing the vibe, man. Today I was getting some internet installed, and it's a bit of a complex situation with the wires and the cables, and immediately the technician is saying, yeah, it's gonna be tough. I don't know if we can get it done. It's gonna be tough. We'll have to see. And I just assured him, I'm like, I think we'll get it done. Now, I didn't even have to say that, but I really wanted to almost rectify the atmosphere. Now, some people might say, oh, you're being so woo-woo, whatever, but it's all about consciousness at the end of the day. And that's why it's so important to surround yourself with people who you could say have a positive mindset, but it's not so much positivity. It's just not having a doubting Thomas mindset. Doubting Thomas. Just, yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen. Once again, that kind of overthinking that is of the negative flavor that poisons the atmosphere. It's not even strictly negative, right? It's not negative in the traditional sense of, oh, you suck, or criticizing things or whatever, but it's really just that doubting Thomas. That doubting Thomas. And we all have that doubting Thomas within us, but it's about purifying it and purging it to become a man or a woman of certainty of faith, because it is going to be good. It is good. You just can't see it yet. So you have to assume that it is good. You assume that it is good, and whether or not the result turns out good or not, that's up to the creator. That's up to the universe. So that's the first thing, is stop peeing in the fountain. Stop poisoning the atmosphere. And even if you're not directly doing it, the next stage is we do it in our minds, don't we? Very two different people who walk into a hall or walk into a room, a technician to go, install some internet. One technician is thinking, yeah, it's gonna be tough. I don't know, I guess we'll see. Even just thinking it, not even saying it. And the other is thinking, whatever happens, we're gonna get it done. Or at the very least, I'm gonna try my best to get it done. Very different consciousnesses, and it colors everything. It colors how you mess with the wires, how you communicate to your customer, me in this case. But this applies to any and everything. Just what is your normal posture in your mind around things, situations, people? Once again, similar to a couple of videos ago, it really is about that skeptic, that realist. You sound smart on your surface, right? You sound smart when you can say, quoting science, oh yeah, this, that, probably won't work because this, I've seen the situation before. But ultimately, maybe it's because you believe that you keep running into that situation. As we all know, you are what you attract what you are. And even on the subtle level of thoughts, just your thinking, it really demonstrates where you're coming from. Because a lot of people, for example, don't have any of those kinds of thoughts. They go in with either a neutral or a positive consciousness around any situation. So what does that say about them? There's levels to this. There's levels to everything. But because we can't see the minds of others, all we can do is bolster our own mind, know that the situation is good, know that it will be good. I would say one of the most unattractive things when it comes to people, friendships, dating, whatever it is, business partners, is just that doubting Thomas. There's a difference between someone who's practical, pragmatic, assesses the landscape, assesses the situation, versus someone who's just that skeptical, almost trying to feel good about being smart. I've seen this before, it's not going to work. That type of consciousness, it just stinks, man. It's so stinky, it's so smelly. It's not someone you want to be around. Why would I call you again? Why would I want to hang out with you again? Or grab coffee with you again? It's just not pleasant. But at the same time, if you're in that consciousness, and no worries if you are, there's always a way out. You don't know that you stink. It's like BO. Like, you don't know you have BO unless someone tells you. It's like you can't smell it on yourself. Similarly, when you're coming from a negative consciousness or a lower consciousness, you just don't know. So that's why it is important to have that contrast once in a while at least, or people you trust to point out, be like, yo man, like, zip it. And if you have that mindset yourself as well, totally cool. We can always work on these things, but the first layer is not allowing it to come out of our lips, because once it comes out of your lips, or it's typed or written, it's negative speech, man. It's evil speech. And it will come back to collect. Your words are your wand. That's why it's called spelling. You're casting spells. So it's, I guess, taking this into a larger discussion. It's so interesting when you look at the internet. If people could only see all the negative words that are being typed and how it's severing, decapitating their blessings, decapitating their miracles. Something negative you typed on some YouTube channel or some TikTok reel is now causing 5 years later for you to lose that abundance or get into that car accident. God forbid. But these things are all related. We can't see how they're connected. And it's beautiful that way, because we're not supposed to see how it's connected, so we can choose in the moment not to be negative. You see what I mean? If we knew that every negative comment you typed on YouTube or Reddit or in text messages when you're kind of gossiping, if we knew that that was going to cause us to get cancer 15 years later, we wouldn't do it. But we don't know. We're blinded to the mechanisms of the universe. Why? So we can have the free will to choose. Because if we knew, oh, do this input output function, it'd be too easy to choose high consciousness, to choose to be positive all the time, you see? So it's supposed to be this kind of faith belief type of game, knowing that, wow, if I work on myself today, if I elevate my consciousness, if I purify my darkness, my ego, my shadows, it's coins in the piggy bank, baby. It's coins in the piggy bank. Spiritual light in the piggy bank. Spiritual coins. Don't we all want that? Well, you don't know you want it until you run into an issue later that goes and forces you to find spirituality. When you're depressed with your $100 billion, you go and find a Sherpa and head to the mountains, or start sitting with the monks and go on a retreat. So since we know this now, we can employ it now. And because we can employ it now, we can receive the benefits of it now. Now, something that we're so keen to want is because we just want that instant gratification all the time. We're thinking, oh, if I clean up my speech, if I stop thinking negatively, things will turn around for me, right? I think everything's going to happen. Slow your horses, man. Like we just said, things are connected in ways we don't see. Maybe you cleaning up your speech saves your child's life before you even have a child. You don't even have children yet, but you working on your negativity now blesses them for their entire life, for their entire journey. Don't you want that? So we just don't see how things are connected. So part of it is doing things today for the sake of, you could say, our future, but also just for the feeling state of the present. Because when this technician is coming out of the elevator saying, hey man, yeah, I don't know if we get this done. This is a complex situation. Right off the bat, right when you meet the guy, how does that feel for the environment? It feels pretty ass. So now we can understand why within a team, whether you're a sports team or a company, a startup, or a family or a friend group, why very important to just make sure everyone is locked in on the consciousness that fits that situation or that mission. But I think we can all generally agree that having someone who is not blind to the realities, some degree though, delusion is helpful, always, but who just doesn't take doubt or no for an answer and instead is positive, smiles, and just, yeah. I don't know why positivity gets such like a bad rap. Maybe it's because people want to be positive, but there's blockers in the consciousness that prevent them from being so. So it's easier to rag on it than just to be positive. Once again, positivity is just a word, it's just language, but it does accurately capture so much of what makes people pleasant to be around. So, that being said, we got the Wi-Fi installed, by the way. See ya.